Hi everyone, welcome to Veterans in Crisis podcast. Today, unfortunately, we have Sam Neil because at the last moment we were dropped in and Sam stood up, come from the bench and made it into the European Super League. You alright, Sam?
I am, yes.
Thanks
I
for
don't
doing
even
this.
know where I've let myself in for now.
Don't be silly, you know the score, man. You've worked here long enough
Exactly.
now. Worked here long enough now. So, for the people that don't know, you work full-time for Veterans in Crisis now. You came
Yep.
as a client, then a volunteer, then part-time, then full-time. So what's your experience been like, do you think, of working here?
I love it.
Yeah.
Honestly, I do love it. It's not like a job. It's definitely a vocation.
Right. So if we explain, I mean, we were lucky enough to get funding from the Armed Forces Covenant to pay for your role, which last, I think, was it 2 years funding?
Yeah.
I think it was 2 years. I don't know how long you've worked here, to be honest. Because well, your roles have sort of just went in from like volunteer into part-time and full-time, so I'm not sure what your contract is. However, it's been brilliant. From my point of view, it's been brilliant because it's better for the clients to have a choice, female or a male, to speak to. But also you do all the fitness and the stuff like that, and the social media, which I can't stand, to be quite honest. So you're a diamond for doing that. So what about your experiences of working here then? What part do you like? I can't imagine there's anything you don't like.
There's not. I honestly don't. There's nothing I don't like. Even putting up with you's all right.
That'd be the best part, man.
Yeah.
I'm
No,
sure it's
it's
the best
honestly,
part.
I've obviously I came from a role to do this, and it got to the stage where I hated that job. Like I dreaded getting up one morning because I didn't want to do it. Whereas I don't feel like that here. I actually look forward to coming to work, and I'm gutted on a weekend when I won't have to come to work.
But to be honest, I look forward to coming into work every day. Like,
Oh, definitely. We have a laugh, and we have some like crap to put up with, but that's the nature of the job. And it's like dealing with people's problems, but then it makes you realise that the problems you've got are trivial
they're not that
compared to
bad,
some
are
others.
they?
Yeah.
What I would like to mention though, we did a podcast before. We spoke about
Yes.
your previous jobs, right? Which were you were in the police and you were
Yeah.
also a prison warder.
Yeah.
Inadvertently, I said, "Have you ever had a job that you were in the grass?" Now, when you go out in the streets, people shout grass at you. So
Yes. After remembering Sunday, the last time we were allowed in the Gunners, like obviously because of COVID, we haven't been in. But I came down the stairs and there was about 20 blokes stood having a cigarette, and they all went, "And here she is, the grass." I didn't even know who they were.
well, at least 20 people watch the podcast, mate. That's all you got to think of. Think if you can take one positive out of that, 20 people
Yeah.
watched your podcast.
So I'm now
So
known as the grass.
moving, you've always been the grass, mate. It's not now. Moving on from when you came as a client and then went into the volunteering role, you picked up really quickly. And one of the things that I asked you to do was to start a fitness group,
Yeah.
doing circuits, taking people to the gym, things like that. Do you want to talk a little bit about that for the people who don't know?
Obviously somebody used to do the circuit before and couldn't do it anymore. And I said, well, I'll do it if you want, because it's something I like doing. I'm really passionate about health and fitness. So to me, it was just me doing what I like doing, but encouraging other people to do it as well. So it's progressed from there. I mean, God, last summer I had to go, we're training down the beach, but I think that was some of the best training we did, because you had the views of the pier and the sea, and in the nice weather, it was fantastic being outside. But obviously now I'm doing the courses for me level 2, me level 3 fitness instructors. So with the view to become a personal trainer. So I'm beast them all officially.
And then to be honest, that is one of the things you wanted to do forever, isn't it? And then it's just fitted in with this.
I've wanted to do it for ages, but obviously costs money, and it was money I didn't have. So I've been given the opportunity by Vix to do it. So
well, the Armed Forces Covenant, that was one of the things that we put in forward to ask so you would be a personal trainer, because it's all right us saying we'll run groups, but not everyone wants to be in a group. You know, not everyone wants to do it, and it's better when we can offer people to have a personal trainer. I mean, it's great, isn't it? You get a personal trainer for note.
I've got, well, some people I couldn't afford a personal trainer. So the fact that the clients are going to be able to have a personal trainer free of charge it's a win-win, really.
All right. And one of your, I mean, that's one of your jobs, isn't it? Your title for your first job, I can't even remember, which
Veterans
is funny.
Veterans Not Forgotten Coordinator.
Right. So that's another thing that we got from the Armed Forces Covenant. So do you want to talk a little bit about
that? I think it's not so much now, but I think when you leave the forces, you are just forgotten about because you're just a number. You walk through the gates, and obviously they've had the resettlement courses or whatever, and it's just a case of bye, see you later. And it's just trying to get people to engage with us, so they're not sitting at home on their own, you know. So there's something going on all the time. But like I say, I like doing all the physical stuff.
And one thing that you don't like, but what you are doing, is taking them camping, aren't you?
Yes.
Twice.
Very. That's why I joined the Navy and not the Army, because we had bunks to sleep in and not tents. Well, you didn't even get a tent, do you? So
no, what do you get? What do you get, Sam? A body bag. It's a bivvy bag, not a body bag.
Yeah, but I'm going to be very, very out of my comfort zone camping.
Well, you invented camping?
Oh yeah, well that's right. Yeah, that was one night, and I was in hysterics then. So
I mean, this is 2 nights in the lakes, isn't it?
We're going in June, and it's 2 nights in June, and it's just going to be for clients, and it's obviously you do activities while you're there, but it's all about like bushcraft and going back to what, like, well, I obviously don't, but going back to what they know best. And then when we go in July, it's going to be clients and their kids. So the lad that owns the place where we're going saying the children love it, because obviously they've never getting to see their mums and dads doing things like bushcraft, and you know, it gives them like a new perspective on their parents of stuff that they did before.
It's exciting because we've got loads of stuff coming up. I mean, COVID, hopefully it's not going to happen again, but because of it happening, all the stuff we've had to postpone now is all happening all at once. So the boxing,
brilliant,
surfing, back to fitness, the running, bike club. I mean, you started the bike club as well, yeah?
Yeah, but again, I love cycling, so it's just doing something else that I enjoy. But we go out on a Wednesday, and we started off just doing, I think the first ride we did was to Suit a Lighthouse, and it's just going a bit further every time we go out.
And I think
then the plan is in September is to get together with Jim Owens from Operation Veteran, and there's going to be a team leaving Operation Veteran to come here, and we're going to cycle from here to there to raise money for both causes, but to raise awareness as well, that, you know, if what we both do.
Are you passing each other on the way, like, or is that a different day?
I think we'll probably pass each other on the way.
Well, they're all Geordie's mine, so make sure on the other side of the fucking thing.
And some of their riders are part of a proper veterans ride, like cycling club as well. So
put sticks through the spokes. If it's a race, you've got to win. Don't let the Geordies beat us.
Definitely, or not, no chance.
Well, as well with Springboard, they used to do something called the Allendale Challenge, apparently, and it's from Allendale back to Sunderland, finish at Granny Annie's with a barbecue on the beach. So apparently they're going to start that, but with a joint venture with Vix. So that's another thing you can do. I mean, I'll be in the van, like, so, but you'll all be safe if I'm in the van.
Well, you did rescue a few of us the last time.
I did. So for the viewers, last year you organised a thing from the ERV to Hartlepool and back, didn't you?
Yeah. So
And
there was, I think there was 14 of us, but we ended up, one group of lads went down to Hartlepool, and they went there and then back, but we ended up getting diverted and we actually went to the Lord and Lady Mayoress's caravan because they turned it into an ARV. So that was down at Blackhall. So we cycled Sunderland to Blackhall, and to be fair, by the time we got there, the weather was absolutely atrocious.
it was.
So,
I couldn't even open the window in the van because it kept coming in.
but there was a couple of the clients did that who, hats off to them, like, because it was 40 odd mile and they did really, really well.
Well, some of the younger lads that are clients and obviously veterans, and some of my mates who did it, we were talking about it on Saturday when I was in the pub. And they when they got there, they had a few drinks and then had to cycle back. And I was saying, I couldn't believe he's had a few drinks, like, because when we passed them and they were going up that hill, man, they didn't look well, like. They didn't look well.
I'm not surprised. Yeah.
So this week we're doing something called surf therapy. We've been lucky enough, a guy called Matt has put it on for us, and that's going to be a 6-week course. Surfing's something I've always wanted to do. I've had a go before, but I could only lie down. So I'm planning on being able to stand up. Like, that's out of the 6 weeks. I'm hoping that by the end I can stand up. Like, that's what I hope. But I mean, you've just did whitewater tubing, haven't you?
Yeah, that was 2 weeks ago now. Joe, it was brilliant. It was such a good laugh, and it was really good, but it was so cold. Like, we got it up to low force, and the sun was glorious, and we were getting changed. And by the time we walked down to the water, we were all red hot because it was really sunny. And then as soon as he went, "This is where we're going in the water," it clouded over and started to snow. So that to say it was a bit cold was an understatement.
Oh, you'd have got wet anyway, man. Don't worry about it.
I know, but it was freezing. But we had such a good day, and then the lads did it again on Saturday. So
are there more videos on the YouTube channel?
Don't think they're on YouTube, but I know they're on Facebook.
We'll have to put them on there. I think. Moving on, that was a brilliant link because now you're in charge of the website.
Yes, I feel a bit like God because I have the power.
Yeah, you just tapping people's pictures off all the time, aren't you? One's me.
Delete.
That's gone.
Yeah.
That's gone. Forget that. Putting worse ones on of me, which I don't like.
Yeah, I'm looking for them slowly.
It'll be hard to find a bad picture of me, to be honest.
I can always ask Alison.
I've seen some of the pictures on there. The one that had us down as the CEO, God, I hated it. Like, I hated it, but I don't know anything about social media and websites, so I couldn't take it off. So
I didn't know anything about websites until yesterday.
Now you're in charge. See, this is how you progress all the time. You come here as a client. Next thing, you run the website.
I just get told you're doing this. Like, am I?
It's the easiest way. Because if I said, "Would you like to do it?" you'd be like, "Oh, well, I'm not sure because I've never done it before." But if I say, "Hey, you're doing that now," then it's took you a day.
Yeah.
There's no pictures on anymore because you took them all off. You just build them once a
one
year.
page.
So on the website, hopefully people who are watching this might know, but we're going to have sections. I've noticed you put something on Facebook asking people what they would like on the sections. But one of the things I would like is something that explains to people that all you have to be is a veteran or veteran's family in Sunderland. You don't have to be in crisis. You know, like, this service is for everyone. Crisis was just the smallest word that will get on the t-shirt. It should have said community, but we couldn't afford the letters. So, you know, that's what I want people to realise, that if you're from Sunderland, you've got a doctor's in Sunderland, you know, and you've got any problem and you're a veteran, come along, you and your family, you know, there's all sorts for everyone to get involved in. All these things people are missing out, you know.
Totally. I mean, obviously, we've all missed going to the Gunners because that used to be the highlight of everybody's week.
It did, didn't it?
Just totally. Because because it's not like it was, to me, going to the Gunners, it's like sitting in the naffy when you're sitting with your mates having a laugh and a brew, and that's but obviously yesterday we started going back to Mowbray Park. So now that the weather's nicer, and until we've got the go ahead to go back to the Gunners, we'll be going to the park every Tuesday.
Because I try not to listen to the sort of kind of COVID roadmap thing, because it changes every 5 minutes. So is my understanding right that in May you can go inside the pubs and stuff?
Yes. But again, I don't know. They're saying in May you can go inside a pub, but I don't know what the restrictions are going to be. When you're in a pub, I would imagine it's only going to be certain households and things like that again, like sitting together, like how now we've got the rule of 6.
Why would you want to go into the pub with the people you live with? So
Exactly.
that's the whole fucking reason they got to get out of the way.
So it's but then again, having said that, I think it's June the 21st or somewhere around about there where they say everything's going to be back to normal. Hopefully by at least June we'll be back on the Gunners.
Well, I've got I think it's the end of June. I've got my first festival. So if anything gets knocked back a week, everything I've booked, fucked, like, to be honest. So it better stay all right.
Keep wearing your mask.
To be honest, it'd be shit. It'd be shit if you got to a festival wearing a mask when you go down the toilet and that. I think we all remember the last time when I went to the toilet, the first time.
That's why I'm laughing.
So for the viewers, why we're laughing is when I went to the toilet, I went to the urinal, first time ever with a mask on, and not thinking I had a mask on, and I spat into the toilet, I thought, but it just went all over my face because I had a mask on. And then I had to dry the mask on the hand thing. So yeah, I'm open up on these things. I'm not bothered about people knowing about my misgivings.
So everybody's going to go, there's that man that spits in his mask.
The one with spit all around here. For some reason it just went upwards in my eyes. So obviously you turned up today because we got dropped in and you stood in like that 2 seconds. Couldn't wait to get on the telly, could you? Couldn't wait.
Well, I'll not say I couldn't wait.
So tomorrow which tomorrow, today if you're watching this on Thursday, it's dog walking day, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, dog walking day for me is probably my highlight of the week now that the Gunners are not here, because although I go running and do the fitness and all that, I don't look forward to it as half as much as taking my dog out walking with everyone, because everyone cracks on and opens up and talks. You know, it's different, the environment when you're out walking in the sun, hopefully, but outside the fresh air, people will open up without any problems. You know, and that's something that I really like. I'm proud of Vix for doing it, because we used, when it started off, it was dog therapy and we just had my dog. Now there's loads of dogs.
Yeah, and you don't even have to have a dog to come. So there's people can come. You don't have to have a dog. It's just a walk.
Can you remember before when that woman was following us, and then she even brought on dog treats. She didn't have a dog. She wasn't a veteran. She's just a woman following us about with dog treats.
Yeah, it's that's the type of people we are.
Exactly. Yeah, community. It's all about the community. So, have you got anything planned that I should know about for the future?
No more babies. I know that for sure.
No, I think you passed that, mate. I think you passed that. The way you keep getting hot flushes all the time, I think you're well past that. No. Yeah. You can't get married again, because I think there's a rule after 7 times you can't get married.
And you can't get married while you're still married.
Oh, I forgot about that. God, I forgot about that. Just because you speak so highly of them.
I know. Both of them.
So, other than all the brilliant stuff you do and the courses you do, what's your plan next? Because I heard a rumour, without you even telling us, that you were starting a photography group.
Yes.
See, that's what I like about here. I'm the last to hear about everything that happens. I just give people a free rein to do what they want.
You find out things on a need-to-know basis.
That's it. I thought.
No, it was during lockdown last year when I borrowed one of the cameras from Vix, And do you know what it is? It's so therapeutic, just going out for a walk. I put my headphones in and I just take pictures, and I don't even think I'm that good. The odd one I think turns out all right, but it's just another form of therapy. So I thought, why not do a group where we can go out, and I still don't know what half the buttons do on a camera, but you learn. So that's the plan. The next plan is to take veterans and their families out who want to and take pictures, and then later in the year
they didn't want to, wouldn't it? Come on, I don't want to.
You will take a picture.
You will. Your hand's shaking and that. I don't want to do it. But what's it about the calendar?
Well, obviously, we did a calendar was it 2020 when we went to the Aircraft Museum and had our pictures taken, put the calendar together. So the plan for 2022 is to get people to submit pictures, and then we'll put them on Facebook. People can pick the 12 best ones, and they will go into the VIX calendar for next year.
Well,
so that'll be later in the year.
I try not to big you up too much, but some of the pictures you've took are really, really good. Like, really good. There's two that stick in my mind. One down the beach and one of the windmill. Obviously, because I live beside that, and they're absolutely spot on. But like I say, I try to keep you a little bit down by saying the shite.
But I'm probably overcritical because I look at them. Say I compare myself with the likes of like Dean Matthews, who was a brilliant photographer, and I think God, they're nowhere as good as his. And then other people go, no, they're like really good. But I think you're always overcritical yourself.
They are actually really good. Right, I want to thank you for coming on and stepping in off the subs bench for us.
You give us that 30 quid later.
No, you're all right. You already get paid anyway. You full time. What time is it? You got home early. I'll give you time in lieu. But I appreciate you doing it, because we wouldn't have a podcast for tomorrow. And I knew you didn't want to do it when I asked you. But you'll just do anything, wouldn't you, for us?
Threatening us with a sack probably had something to do with it.
Well, I usually find encouragement like that works. Right, cheers, mate. I'll see you in a bit.
Thank you.
Thank you again. Cheers.